Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Friday, August 26th and Saturday, August 27th by Gaia Blooming. I'm Mimi and our energy mantra for today is I breathe into my heart and let that energy expand through me, expand through my beingness. Every time I've sat down since we've moved into Virgo, it's felt about the breath. And Virgo is not an air sign. Not to say that it needs to be an air sign when it comes to breath. But that's what it's felt like. It's just taking a big breath and settling into beingness. So I encourage you into that as we move through today and tomorrow's astrology. So for Friday, we are building into the new moon, and we have the new moon happening at 1:17 a.m. Pacific time on Saturday. And being that I will not be able to do a video for Saturday, I figured that it would be really great to combine these two energies, especially because Friday is overall quiet. We have a fast-moving yod with the moon moving through Leo, connecting to Pluto and Neptune. So just like we had with the sun like a week ago, and it reminds me of a sunset. And it's like that spark of light that's reminding you, stay in your heart. Stay in your heart through this energy. Stay in your heart no matter these challenges that may be coming up in and through this astro. Because there's definitely some interesting astro that is approaching us to come with this new moon energy. So it's just a reminder. Keep finding the power in your heart, and like the energy mantra, breathe that heart energy through all of you and notice when your ego starts wanting to pop its head up into the energy. All right, so what are we building into? I thought I saw a tick on the wall, but it's a fly. I was like, oh, no. I don't know what that might mean, but anyway. The moon will move into Virgo at 5:25 p.m. Pacific time. So we're going to have kind of a lazy lion day. It's dark of the moon, lots of processing, especially with that fast-moving yod. So again, keep seeing how you can bring yourself back to love. Moon into Virgo, dark of the moon, preparations for new moon in Virgo. Like I said, early Saturday. This new moon, I was going to bring up the energy of manifestation. That's one of the things that was coming up. You know, people can get very into their ego about manifestation, like, I manifested that. And hey, wonderful. That's an awesome gift. And it's not the end-all be-all gift. That being said, I think Earth moons are a wonderful time of manifestation, because it really is when we can bring focused, especially with Virgo, focused thought to the physical. So it's a beautiful, powerful, potent time for that. And yet, while there is that focus, there's also just this overall feeling of settling in, presence, beingness in and through this new moon. So let's dig into the astro leading up to it. So leading up to it in the evening, we're going to have Venus, Venus in Leo, squaring Uranus. We are going to get triggered. We may even get triggered around financials, our physical, material goods that we have, our own worth, the money that we make, the money that we accept, money in the world, any of that stuff, our own personal worth. I don't know if I said that. Any of that can strongly come up in and through that. You may get into your ego and feel like you have to prove yourself in this. I can manifest better than this. Again, no shame in that. But check the ego in and through this energy. This is also bringing up that square opposition that we had with Uranus and the moon and the nodes, all of that. This keeps feeding this energy. It keeps feeding that lesson to lean into what we truly value. Are you working on manifesting what you truly value? Are you being triggered by something that you actually truly value? Noticing that, working with that. We swiftly move from that into the sun in Virgo squaring Mars. So we've got this square between Venus and Uranus. Bring out the symbols for a clash. Then we have this square between the sun and Mars. Where are you getting your information from? Mars in Gemini squaring the moon and the sun in Virgo. In fact, minutes before the new moon, we are going to have the moon in Virgo squaring Mars at 1:11 a.m. Pacific time. And I'll remind you that the new moon is 1:17 a.m. Pacific time. So this energy is fairly uncomfortable and can be super reactive with the moon aspecting Mars. Anytime moon and Mars have some kind of juicy connection, I say this can bring up temper tantrum energy. You may be feeling about your daily reality somewhat temper tantrumy in the moment, and it may go back to that Venus-Uranus square that's happening, and people are up in arms. Forgiving student debt. You should pay your own debt. Corporations couldn't pay their debt and got bought out. There's so many different opinions. When I was looking at this astro energy, and especially when I tuned into the Sabian symbol, one of my favorite Rumi verses that sometimes I mess up. Out beyond right doing and wrong doing, there's a field. I'll meet you there. Last time I mentioned it, I think I said, out beyond right doing and wrong doing, there's a tree. And my friend and I always laugh about that because she is the only person who mentioned it to me. Anyway, out beyond right doing and wrong doing, there's a field. The Sabian symbol for this, I typed something in here, for this new moon at 4 degrees squaring Mars is, and please keep in mind, this book was done, let's see, 40s, 50s, 60s. It was a while ago. Black and white children play together happily. And it's talking about everybody being on the same playing field. Every human being should be seen, approached, warmly met as a child of God. The keynote being brotherhood, personhood, right? Like, we're in the hood together kind of thing. The Sabian symbol that it's leading to, Virgo 5, is a man becoming aware of nature spirits and normally unseen spiritual agencies. And I really think that this is the process that we're in. Like, no, I love this quote, and I don't know who it's by. I think it's a indigenous quote, but it's basically, no tree has branches that fight against itself. And I've posted it before and had a lot of people commenting, fighting against that. But truly, this is the place that we're at. There is so much unrest between us as humanness, in our humanness, right now at this time. And how does this relate to Virgo, where we're at in Virgo? As above, so below. As within, so without. We are at unrest and at war within ourselves, the light and the dark of us, the good and the bad, the perfect and imperfect parts of ourselves, the parts we want the world to see as light and shiny, and the parts we don't want the world to see because we are carrying them in shame. And I'm uncomfortable with the state of the world, the fighting in the world. So many people I love having differing opinions. It's uncomfortable, right? And yet, as I look in myself, I know that I carry this kind of disputive energy within myself as well. And so this is where I come back to the energy mantra. taking a breath and taking a step all together within myself. And that's what I'm encouraging in this new moon, with your new moon intentions. The wholeness, the holiness of you moving forward. Trusting that wherever you are at in your manifestations, in abundance, knowing as a child of God, universe, source, you are deserving of wonderful things. Trusting in that unseen, the unseen to support in and through this. But working on the wholeness, the holiness within yourself. Now, I think going on from this new moon on Saturday, that's it for Saturday, the transits for Saturday. But moving on from them, it may be a kind of triggery day, especially coming off some of these square energies. I think we're going to be feeling them on Friday, like all day through Friday and then probably through Saturday. But rather than the lashing out, being a tree whose branches are fighting with each other, sourcing within, breathing within, returning to your wholeness, holiness, checking in, body, mind, spirit, soul, heart. Am I in connection in myself, with myself, in these pieces of myself? And noticing when those outside triggers start coming in, what is the within piece of this? As within, so without. As without, so within, right? Really working that. Virgo, at its core, is a healer. And I really believe this new moon has potential for healing in alignment with your intention. So I think I did it all the way around, but I hope you were able to follow my spiral in and through this energy. Let's look at the cards. The top of the cards is the consciousness. Being aware of your consciousness, the subconscious energy that is coming through in this energy is going to have so much information, and we can get beyond the illusions that we have been carrying about ourselves, even utilizing any comparison in the world around you to help you get to that beyond illusion place within yourself. I have the fighting card in reverse. I think this day could stimulate that energy for sure these days. So be aware of that, but we don't have to engage. Rather, we can look and see where we in of ourselves are out of, I guess the best word I have is accordance in that. The final card I actually have is the Four of Swords, the postponement card. You know, we're always looking to greener pastures. I'll do this when, I'll do better then, if the world was just this way. And it's saying, you know, while we can envision those greener pastures, we have the potential now to create those greener pastures. What is your work now in creating those greener pastures? So, leaving that here for today. Happy new moon. Happy yachting. You can book a reading with me. Email me, mimiclark@gmail.com. Besides that, the better it gets, the better it gets. There's more than enough love in the world for you. You have the power, and honor your values. Namaste.